All right. Good evening, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube.
Welcome. Episode number 7 will be starting in just a moment.
Welcome.
Stay tuned. Another beautiful night here in Garden City. Nice little chilly spring night.
It's
You
like
can hear
50 degrees outside. You can still hear the birds
yeah,
chirping.
it's chirping out there a little bit.
It's nice.
Yeah, it is. All right, we all set?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Talk shoes.
Recorded live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to D&D Sports Chat. This is episode number 7. It is March 30th, 2016, and I am your host, Derek, alongside my co-host tonight, Mr. Dan Bartley. How are we doing tonight, man?
Pretty well. Pretty well. Sounding better, Derek.
Sounding better. I know last week was definitely a tough week for me. I turned, I think, one Kleenex into just a complete...
million Kleenexes?
Yeah, just completely shredded. I tried to get through an hour-long show with one Kleenex, which I should have just had a whole box next to me.
I think you should have had the
It didn't.
shoes next to you.
Yeah, I didn't think ahead. I thought, maybe my nose was going to be dried up for the majority of the show, but it just wasn't the case. And I know
quite humorous to watch.
I had you and
all
Steve.
show week.
Yeah, I had you and Steve cracking up here. It was definitely crazy. But yeah, what a difference a week makes. And I'm glad that I'm back to normal here. And when a very busy filled sports week it is, we got
and entertainment.
We got a lot of entertainment stuff happening. We got the Red Wings closing out the season, 5-game stretch. We got Tigers opening night next Tuesday. We got WrestleMania this Sunday, Walking Dead finale, Sunday Night Baseball. So Sunday night's going to be a busy night for sure. And we're going to try to tune into all three of those things in bits and pieces. I know that Sunday's going to be a big night for us at my house for WrestleMania.
Somehow or another, I got to figure out how to memorize my glass menagerie lines. Not happening.
Yeah, I know that you were getting kind of nervous. I know the other night you were talking about something about memorizing lines for a play, and
Not happening.
Not much advice I can give you other than just look over your stuff countlessly, write some notes, do little bullet points if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Comprehension was not one of my strong suits back when I was in college or even in high school. I couldn't remember like a paragraph what I read and write a summary on it. That was just always one of my weaknesses, but. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of people.
I'm going to go out there and just do the best I can. And whatever happens, happens. Not going to sweat
That's
the
all
small
you can
stuff.
do.
You can't worry about it.
Absolutely. God, just do whatever you got to do and put in your best foot forward and best effort. So tell us about this little red light story. We were kind of talking about it before the show went on. You had a stalker today, possibly?
I had a very bipolar, angry person that followed me.
Road rage?
Today, yeah.
Had some road rage?
I think the potholes.
Somebody was in a hurry. Yeah, somebody was in a hurry there.
Somebody. And of course, it was a big F-150 trucker, big probably dude. I couldn't see very well. His windows were
Ford Super Duty?
Yeah, it sounded like a monster truck right behind my little ghetto cruiser that I got. So
the Cadillac.
yeah, gonna be vintage here.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a classic car.
I'm sitting there at the red light. It's not flashing.
Right.
It's a solid red light.
Yes.
You don't turn on those.
No.
And he's honking his horn. He's getting
Let's go.
He's getting belligerent. He's yelling things at me because I have my window down.
Come on, you son of a bitch.
Something similar to that.
Yes.
A little bit more vulgar. I'm not going to touch on that.
Yes.
But patience, people. Settle down.
Where are you off to? Where's the fire?
Know the law.
Yes.
Can't turn on a solid red. There's a Westland police officer not far behind you. Thank you, Tim Allen. But
Official spokesperson, Tim the Toolman Taylor, by the way.
Patience.
Yes.
Decency. Common courtesy. I stress that here in Michigan.
Yes, especially with the drivers in Michigan that we have. Yes, some of them, especially during the wintertime, that don't even live here for the winter.
And he follows me.
So how many miles would you say he followed you?
Probably 3-4 miles.
Were you starting to get kind of anxious?
And he pulled into a McDonald's, so I think he was hungry.
Want that Big Mac.
He wanted that Big Mac.
Want that Big Mac, that large fountain pop, and some French fries.
Yeah, and Monopoly started at McDonald's.
Oh, that's right.
So
That just started
gotta
this
get
week,
that
yeah.
free food, man.
Man, he must think his chances of winning are pretty
He
skyrocketing
must be
through the
thinking
roof.
he's gonna get Park Place and
Oh
Boardwalk.
yeah, absolutely. So aside from some stalkers following Danny today, not much better news to report. Of course, we got our Red Wings. Well, first of all, why don't you tell us who our Red Wings segment is brought to you by? I know I didn't hand you the script before the show here. We didn't do this last
holy
week.
garbanzo beans there, Derek.
As tax season is winding down to our last week or so here.
Yeah, April's here. Can you believe that? April
Flowers or April showers bring May flowers. Had that backwards.
So they say. Detroit Red Wings presented by J&J Taxes and More. For D&D Sports Chat listeners only, 1040 easy form in federal and state, just $40 by appointment only. Please call Joe at 734-523-8291. Weekend appointments are available. Call Joe all season long. He'll be there to help you, even if it's not tax time. He's around there.
Yeah, he is, and I know that Friday my parents and myself will be getting our taxes done by the one and only Joseph Bartley. So, and I hope that this D&D Sports Chat promotion applies for the ones that actually give it out on the air every week, myself and
Mention
me.
that
and my
ad,
parents.
Mr. Partin.
Yep, I will have to remind my parents to do just that. So, on that note, we're in our final 5-game stretch for our precious Detroit Red Wings, and once again, and I say this now this is our third straight week where we have had to report on a dreadful Red Wings loss. And, I say to myself, we can't keep getting mad, but it is really frustrating. If they don't play, if they play the first 40 minutes and they don't play the last period, it's one thing, but then they totally reverse it. They already shoot themselves in the foot. They're down 2-0, have to fight back, make it a 3-2 lead. They score 3 unanswered, and then they cannot wrap it up the final 10, 15 minutes of the game.
You hit the nail right there. Shooting themselves in the foot. The
Yep.
Red Wings have done that all season. You can't hold the lead. Can't score on the power play. You can't get production from the second, third, and fourth lines. You roll one line that can produce, if that.
This is a team made up of
a whole team full of Johan
Yes.
Franzen streaky players
Very
that
streaky.
can't get the job done in the clutch. This team is not going anywhere. I'm sorry. I'll say it again. I'm sticking to my guns.
No, it's all
I'm a
right.
believer in what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. As much as I want to be wrong on this one, and I hope that I am, the Wings are not going anywhere.
Obviously, we made our predictions last week. I know that, myself, Steve, and Chris came on here, and off the record, we said that they would make the playoffs. You were the one that said that they wouldn't. As a week has now passed, I'm starting to have more doubts.
Are you feeling – I want to know how everybody's feeling, though.
Unsafe.
How are you feeling? You got a game. You got some games against Boston. You got a game against Boston. Game against Philly. You got a game against
A
Minnesota.
lot of original
and
16s.
Toronto.
Yes.
So there you have it. You got to take care of business.
These next two are pivotal. Minnesota and Toronto. You got one team that has the exact same record as the Red Wings do. They're fighting. They actually are pretty well locked in, I think, to a playoff spot in the West, right? Mm-hmm. And then you got Toronto, who is completely out of it. One of the worst teams in the league. Of course, Mike Babcock wanting to get that final laugh to possibly put the final nail in the coffin for the Red Wings playoff hopes.
Wouldn't that be funny?
And it could happen.
Cost the Wings the playoff.
It could happen, but I think I am going to narrow it down to game number 80. And that Philadelphia game is going to be tough. Boston is going to be tough as well. But as we've been kind of seeing this trend now, the Red Wings have a little bit of luck and I guess a little bit of positivity on their side only because of what Boston's been doing, because they are starting to really fall behind.
Yeah.
And I know that a week or so ago we were starting to really worry about how it was just Philadelphia that was on our tail, but now our bright spot is looking ahead to the number 3 spot in Atlantic.
That gets you out of a death sentence against the Washington
because
Capitals.
that not only will solidify your playoff hopes, but it will also leapfrog you from 8th to 6th in the Eastern Conference as far as who you're going to face. Now, instead of facing Washington, you can face a team like either the Florida Panthers or the Tampa Bay Lightning, I believe. And that seems a hell of a lot more doable. It seems a lot more refreshing.
Absolutely.
The Red Wings, who would probably get annihilated by the Capitals in 5 games at the most.
That's being generous.
That is being generous, but looking ahead to what that game is going to be next week against Boston and Philadelphia. I want to take it one step at a time, though. I want to take it against.
Don't overlook.
No.
Don't overlook the next couple games.
No.
Minnesota.
Wild. They're scrappy. They got that tandem. Or that duo, I should say, of Suter and Parise. That they're leading the team right now in points, and They got decent goaltending as well. And speaking of goaltending, our goaltending is just not it's not solidified.
I knew you were going to touch on.
We
this.
don't know now. This is becoming a worrisome thing because Peter Mrazek has now gotten pulled 2 out of his last 3 starts.
Now, for Mrazek, I'll break it down with this. I'll try to put it in perspective for you. Mrazek's fine as far as his mental game is. I don't think it's confidence. I think he is
Injured.
Nagging injuries.
Yeah.
That groin is not 100%.
You got to look back and you got to see that trend ever since that groin injury that sent him down for a couple games where
Wings
they bring Jared.
They're downplaying it.
Yes,
they keep
they are.
downplaying it. No one's ever going to say that. Oh, it's an illness. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, he's lacking confidence. I don't think it's that.
The flu does not last 3 weeks, people. I'm sorry. He had that flu. Yeah, he had that flu 3 weeks ago. It's a groin because that is probably the most.
Imagine being a goalie because you're constantly
bending down, stretching
that area out.
Yep, splitting. It's probably the most common injury for goalies, and it's also one that you have to take with a grain of salt because you can't rush that. A normal hockey player, can probably deal with the pain more than what a goalie will, but it doesn't affect your playing style and your mentality as far as how well you play than a goalie. And Peter Mrazek, just like Jeff Blashill, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but you can't be playing him when he's nagging this injury. Jimmy Howard is obviously not much better, even as a full, healthy Jimmy Howard. His numbers, they speak for themselves, obviously. What is he, 11 and 12, 10 or 10
Last
11?
night is not Jimmy Howard's fault.
No, it's not. Not at all.
People are very – I'm not a Jimmy Howard guy, but
the defense.
Constructive criticism with
Yeah.
Jimmy Howard.
Yeah.
You got to take it for what it is. Jimmy Howard's got to be your guy right now. Peter Mrazek's not 100%. I can live with Jimmy Howard being the starting goaltender. Or if the Wings do make the playoffs, you throw him in that
because you got
spot.
your Howard haters, you got your Howard in the middle criticism guys like probably you and myself, and then you got your Howard lovers that are probably hating on Peter Mrazek but don't know the real story behind his struggles, and they're like, oh my God, yes, we finally get Jimmy Howard. Like, what a Cinderella story this could be if Jimmy Howard could lead this team to the playoffs and then even possibly beyond the first round. And it's not going to be because of Jimmy Howard. He stood on his head before in many seasons.
Look at your defensive core.
The defensive core is the number one weakness on this team. I said it to Tay when I was talking to Steve and Chris about the number one offensive move that they need to make in the offseason is the defensive core. Nothing else. You got to worry. Obviously, the contract negotiations, guys like Pavel Datsyuk, that will be handled later on if he stays, if he goes back to Russia, whatever. You got to worry about obviously goal scoring because this team has obviously proven that they can't score more than 1 or 2 goals a game. And then you got to worry about number one, the defensive core.
There's a lot of things that you're concerned about.
Yep.
A lot.
Yeah.
And that's not just all these problems are not going to be fixed next offseason.
Or not even the next 5. If you were to be like typical Kenny Holland, which we won't have him in 5 years, but I will say this, you can tell that this team has pieces. They have important pieces. They have youth. This team is probably 80% youth oriented on this team. But when they're not hungry enough, when they're just not showing that urgency that they should be showing. For a team that is not very experienced as well as playoff goes, I'm talking about as a whole team. This team has a lot of inexperience. It has a lot of experience mixed together. But when you're not hungry enough like a team like Philadelphia, who is playing like a desperate team, you got to make changes. You got to add to it. And if we just roll with the same team that we have in 5 years, it's not going to be much different. It's going to be a lot of the same, on the cusp of making or missing the playoffs and wondering what went wrong.
You're going to lose Zetterberg and Datsyuk.
Yes.
No matter if Zetterberg retires,
3 to 5 years,
Datsyuk
they're gone.
Floats off to Russia.
Yep.
Whatever happens, you're going to lose both of them in the next 3 years. I don't think both of them are going to be around much longer. So if the Wings' time to win is now, but you're rebuilding on the fly with these young guys. Now, on paper, you look at this team loaded with speed, loaded with finesse. You're starting to play with some grit, which that is the one bright spot, is I'm trying to not be that negative Nancy every single week on the shows. It seems like I am,
yeah.
And I hate being that guy. I hate being that
they're
negative
making
Nancy
They're making
guy.
it. They're making it very tough on us.
It's so hard to have
Yep.
that positive outlook right now with the Detroit Red Wings this year. But I'll have a positive aspect here is the Wings are playing grittier. They're dropping the gloves. They're playing a little nastier.
I got one too. My bright spot for the Red Wings in this stretch: the power play. The power play.
Anthony Mantha.
Yes, and Anthony
Ever since
Mantha
he
has
arose,
been. Yes.
Look at that.
You got to figure which contributed 3 goals at Montreal, converting for a 6th straight game. The difference between now and the first 5 months of the season, according to guys like Zetterberg and Blashill, is delivering pucks and buys to the net. And Mantha has been doing a lot of that. He's been getting in front of the net, been playing kind of a Thomas Holmstrom aspect on the power play. Making it hard for the goalie, creating traffic in front of the net for the defense to clear away. And it's definitely, and they're getting better point shots. They've been getting better point shots, and they've been setting up a lot easier too. And I got to contribute that to Mantha. He's got 2 goals since he's come here, and he's gotten, I believe, 4 or 5 points. So
and he's had a lot of good quality scoring.
A lot of
chances.
good quality scoring chances. I mean, he's actually up there in minutes too. I think, isn't he playing like near 20 minutes a game almost? Or
I don't believe it's that high. I don't believe he's getting the kind of minutes that.
Have they bumped him up to the second line, or is he still is he third line or second? I think they rotate him with Blashill.
On every given night, you don't know what the lines are going to be for the Detroit Red Wings. Blashill is one guy who does not like consistency with his lines. But the Wings aren't. There's nothing for the Wings to really gel. The Wings aren't gelling right now. So Blashill's throwing everything. The deck of cards is just shuffled every single night, and you got to do that. You got to try to get scoring chances. You got to put guys in odd situations and hope that they blossom and the flower finally develops. And the Wings are just, oh look, there's a new line formation with Larkin, Zetterberg, and
that is the weak. That's probably the only weak spot about the criticizing of Blashill's coaching is his juggling of lines. And we touched on this, I think, a week or so ago. Is that would be probably my only concern for Blashill as far as being a rookie head coach in the big leagues. Is that when it comes down to crunch time, and now we're in our final 5-game stretch, the juggling of lines just kills your team's momentum. It kills positivity. It kills whatever kind of consistency you have going, which is probably why when the Red Wings can beat a team like Montreal barely, when you have a 4-0 lead, then barely win to hang on 4-3, I don't get excited for the next game because what do? They go ahead and lose. It's win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. And if you continue that over these next 5 games, you're not going to make it in. You're going to miss it by like a point or 2. So there's obviously a lot of, when you go back, so we've touched on the bright spots, but when you go around to the negative Nancy stuff, when there is a lot of responsibility, because I know that was my headline, is who is the sole responsibility of the Red Wings' woes? And I think there's a lot to go around. When you got guys, the defensemen obviously haven't been good enough in their own zone. That's been touched on. They haven't been active enough offensively either. Among the forwards, though, when you got guys like Gus Nyquist, his goal in Montreal was his first in just 12 games. Then, it's only his 4th in the last 33. Thomas Tatar has 4 goals in the last 24 games, and then Henrik Zetterberg has scored once in the last 20. So there's a lot of big names right there.
That is your top 6 forwards right there.
Yep.
That is your guys. And Dylan Larkin's not doing a whole lot either. I know Dylan.
He had number 22 the other night.
The Wings' big-time scoring machines that
they
have are not contributing.
And do you think Larkin is the cause of that in a negative way? I mean, I know that we've seen the emergence of Dylan Larkin, great rookie season, but do you think that because of the more ice time that he's been getting, it's been dwindling on guys like Nyquist and Tatar?
The thing with Larkin is I haven't really seen him slow down a lot. I don't see him really looking like he's being outmatched or outskated by any guys. He's got so much speed that's really going to be hard to determine unless you're at the game live.
Right.
But for me, I think Dylan Larkin is 19 years old, first full season in NHL. The gas tank's running on empty. He's young.
Yeah. He hasn't been through this grind.
The endurance is probably there. He's a young guy.
Yep. This ain't Michigan college hockey.
It's different. It's a whole different philosophy.
And this is where
you're in the show.
Yep. This is where you make or break your season or your team's chances of making the postseason. Dylan Larkin's not been to this dance before, and wait till the playoffs start. If we make it, I'm excited if we do make it to see what Larkin and Mantha can do with a fresh, clean slate.
Absolutely nothing.
And it's because of the team that they have around them. It's not going to be anything.
If
it's Washington.
I hate to be that guy again, that negative pooper, but Wings make their way in the playoffs, limp their way into the playoffs. You're going to have to rely on Mrazek or Howard to steal you games to get you to that next round.
Your defense is not waking up overnight.
Is going to be picked apart every single night. You throw Quincy, you throw Erickson out there. The Kaiser might be able to do a little something. I'm not going to.
Brendan Smith? Are they going to actually play Brendan Smith?
Not bashing Danny Kaiser quite yet.
No.
Danny Kaiser has an upside. He has
a future. He's going to be our next Cronwall.
Danny Kaiser needs some chemistry.
Yes.
He needs someone that actually has some skills to help mentally prepare his game.
Yeah.
A little young yet. I'm giving Danny Kaiser time before I throw him under the bus. I don't like doing that to guys.
Is it fair to say the last good 1-2 pairing for the Red Wings was Nick Lindstrom and Brian Rafalski?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been probably good 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
But...
look at that. And that's the problem is.
And those were older
Wings
guys.
fans and us Wings fans like to sit back and go,
God, Lindstrom could still play on this team.
Could Lindstrom still skate?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course he
At
can still
44
skate.
years old,
I
he
think
could still
Lindstrom
hang with
could
these guys.
Outplay anybody
Absolutely.
in this current Red Wings defense.
But we did see in his final season in 2012 that obviously
slow
the
down.
speed was slow. He wasn't as accurate on the power play. He lost his point shot, his accuracy.
Obviously,
But
and it's pathetic that we're talking about
yes,
this
it is.
right now.
It really is. We probably get teared to shreds if we called in 971 the ticket and was one of those fans that called up to Pat Caputo and said, "Yeah, Pat, you know what? I think Nick Lindstrom could still skate on this team. Could probably still lead this team in defensive scoring."
And I know Pat Caputo.
Well, let me tell you something about that, Danny and Derek. I think you're full of crap.
Caputo's.
Or we would get something like a.
I won't comment on anything. Yeah, exactly. I won't comment on anything nice when the ticket says or does
No.
because. Yeah, I'm just not gonna go there.
Oh yeah, no saltiness there on the ticket side.
No saltiness with me with the ticket, but professional.
Yeah.
This is the professional arena.
Yes.
I'm professional.
There you go.
I'll just leave it at that. With the Wings, moving forward,
Yes.
you get to the playoffs. I want to finish this little topic with this.
Yeah.
You make the playoffs because I'm going to be that positive guy
Yes.
that all the Wings fans want to be and keep drinking that Kool-Aid and
Oh yeah.
lathering in that butter. So I'll be that guy as much as I want to be. I can't feel it right now in my bones.
Well,
Wings make it the playoffs. Okay, we're here. Ooh, yay! 8th seed.
well, wait a minute though.
Or you get in. but
6th.
Wings are going to get crushed by the Boston Bruins on that game. Rask shuts the door.
Are you talking about Red Wings versus Boston?
Wings
in
versus
a couple?
Boston.
Okay.
You get your hopes. It's neck and neck. You're tied. Wings win. They move in. Boston shuts the door. Tuukka Rask returns to Vezina
Vezina
type
form.
numbers. Vezina form. Rask has had a step back this year.
He
and I
has.
get it.
We were talking about that, I think, on one of our first or second shows. I believe it was you that brought up Boston, and I mean, we're going on a month ago, that we've seen a real step back in Boston. Like, we haven't seen the same Boston as we have seen of
Boston
old.
has lost a lot of
And
their
they
core
have,
players.
yes, they have. But now,
And
yeah, they
Boston
are.
Bruins,
They're starting to fall into our tracks a little bit, and we're starting to kind of gain speed on them. But they still have the better team on paper than the Red Wings. In a best of 7, I think we would probably get beaten in 6 by Boston.
That's a tough one. To
You-
be
you-
honest,
yeah?
if
You
we're
think
gonna
we can
play-
hang? You think we can hang
if
with
you're
Boston?
gonna play Boston,
It ain't like 2013.
the Wings have some of the best speed in all the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
The National Hockey League. pardon me.
Yes.
The Boston Bruins have some of the slowest defensemen in the NHL.
Yeah, that's a good point. there.
Seidenberg and Chara, extremely slow foot. Dylan Larkin, Anthony Ciu, Darren Helm. Yes, I know he can't finish. Pick those guys apart.
Yeah.
Wings win that in 6.
You got the Wings winning a first-round series against Boston.
The Wings aren't going to match up against Boston. This is just
No,
fantasy
but-
talk right
I know,
now.
but we're saying that realistically, the Red Wings are going to face probably one of 3 teams if they make the playoffs.
I'm a realist.
It's
realist.
going to be Washington, Florida, or Tampa. One of those 3 the Red Wings will face if they make it in.
And I want to play Tampa.
I do too. Florida, it sucks because I'm torn because they've had our number all year. Tampa Bay, we've been able to win some, lose some. Washington, I won't even go there. I've already said my piece. 5 games and you're out. But I can see the Red Wings taking Florida or Tampa 6 to 7 games. And if they win or not, that's a question. But I think that they could definitely hang with them.
I think the
And
Wings'
the
best
Red
chance
Wings
is Tampa.
and it could be a similar series. It would be I think it'd be gritty. I think it would be a lot of offense. I think it wouldn't be much defense. But the thing about Tampa is that they have 4 solid lines. They have 4 solid scoring lines on that team, and they have a decent defense. Goaltending,
Bishop
of course,
is very
Bishop
inconsistent.
Bishop is
last time.
inconsistent. The Red Wings goaltending is obviously up in the air as well. That'd be a very evenly matched series. Last year, a lot of people had them beating us in probably either 4 or 5. We went 7 games. We actually had a pretty good hold on that series until Game 7, and.
Unfortunately, we're just talking in fantasy right
Yeah,
now. And,
I know.
And a lot of what
Yeah.
ifs and a lot of shoulda, couldas and a lot of this might happen, this will probably never happen. But first of all, you just got to get in.
Yep.
You got to hope and pray that you don't.
I hate saying this. I keep, we're gearing towards that last game, and oddly enough, a week from tonight will be game number 80. It'll be that game against Philly. We'll have 2 games left after that.
Mercy.
So we can't exactly say the Red Wings will be in or out by next week's show, but we will definitely know at the end of next week's show if the Red Wings are going to have a legit shot with 2 games remaining. So
could be extremely joyful, or could be just the absolute gut punch that all Wings fans don't want to feel.
That's going to be the question mark. But for now, it's a bunch of what ifs, and that's all I got to say about the Red Wings. Now, moving on to the Tigers segment. We missed this, of course, last week to do our little promotions for our father's respectable businesses or shows here. But our Detroit Tigers segment tonight is presented by Garden City Community Chat. If you want to know everything about what is happening in the city of Garden City and the surrounding communities, please tune in live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. right here on TalkShoe.com/TC/82757 for Garden City Community Chat with your host, the one and only Chatman himself, my father, as mentioned, Kerry Partin. Good show. Very informative show.
Indeed it is.
So, I'm sorry, I thought about the Red Wings for a second. Why? I don't know.
It's on the brain.
It is on the brain. Got to get that out. Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, they made a splash, obviously. This was Tuesday night when they cleared up some of their catching situation, and we both kind of predicted this last week. Brian Holiday traded to the Rangers for Bobby Wilson and Miles J. Some nobodies that we probably don't know anything about right now.
No, and you will not see them.
And we won't see them probably
ever.
Either ever or quite some time. I think Texas definitely won this trade. I think that Brian Holiday will be probably on their starting lineup as their starting catcher or their backup catcher, at least. And good for him. You know, I feel good for him. I feel like he's really shined in spring training. I know, Danny, you're not particularly big on spring training.
Well,
but
here's the spring training where I am, is Brian Holiday single-handedly, with his spring training, got himself traded, got himself a starting roster
for
position.
some, it paid off. For some, it
so
pays
it pays
off.
off to go in there.
Yeah, and I mentioned this last week, is that, you know, as much as you dog spring training, guys like a Brian Holiday that aren't necessarily guaranteed a roster spot are playing like it is their World Series. I said the exact words, is that spring training can be like the World Series to some guys, and Brian Holiday it was, and it paid off. He's batting 438 this spring. He's got 4 home runs, 12 ribbies. I mean, those are good numbers, very good numbers for spring training. And for a guy that's actually trying to bust his ass, it paid off for him. So congratulations to him. But we're starting to get down to, you know, obviously cutting guys down. You know, the Tigers.
Bruce Rondon has been sent down.
Shane Green has become the 5th starter over Matt Boyd. There was a little bit of a battle there.
Okay.
You know, I think that now with that situation,
I know Steve wants Timmy Lincecum.
He's still available too.
Yes, indeed he is.
But with Daniel Norris out though, and he's going to be starting the season on the DL and probably being in AAA and playing for the Mud Hens for the first month of the season, this is probably your best bet at your 5th starting position.
And you could possibly skip his turn in the rotation the way things are shaping up, if you really wanted to.
Well, early in the season, I think couldn't you roll with 4 starters?
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you're
with all the days off.
Yep, a lot of days off the first month of the season.
With everything being really mixed in, you don't really need to give Shane Green.
First month of the season, you only play like 20 games.
Yeah.
So with all the days off, and especially having that day off after the opening game, I think that you could definitely surpass your 5th starter. Give Green an extra. I mean, not that he really needs it, but.
Throw him in the bullpen.
Yeah, throw him in the bullpen. Use him as a middle relief. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be a big deal.
I'm not Brad Osmus, and I'm not going to speak for Brad Osmus because, heaven forbid, that'd be terrible. But, yeah. I would not have... Yeah, Brad Osmus does that to me a lot. I would not have Shane Green pitch for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks?
I'd try to push it as long as I could.
Are you delaying the inevitable here, though?
I don't think he's ready. From what I've seen for him, I think that
it's been a shaky spring training. I
know it's spring training, and you take that with a grain of salt, as you said. And I'm not a big spring training guy. Never have.
He pitched better than Boyd. That's really, I think, all you can say. That's the only positive about
in the
it.
Rotation.
Yep, he did.
The thing with Boyd is everybody's going to say this: is Boyd's left-handed. Daniel Norris is left-handed, but they both don't have it right now. They don't have the feel. They don't have the breaking pitches. Daniel Norris is coming off a thyroid cancer situation. So great for him. He beat that.
But you gotta
But
really tread
he hasn't
carefully.
been. He's not quite there yet.
No.
For baseball ready, but
His mind's got to get into it. It's
he's
going
the
to take
future
some time.
of this team.
He is.
He is going to be there in 4 or 5 years.
He'll
from
be
now,
your second or third starter on this
he
team.
He could be your ace. You just don't know.
It's possible. But as far as Shane Green goes, I mean, it's not been a terrible spring, but it's been shaky. He's allowed 4 runs on 13 hits in 13 and 2/3 innings. He's got 14 strikeouts and 3 walks. So his ratio is not bad.
Okay. I can live with that.
And that's a guy that's also, I'm not saying that he's like a Brian Holiday where he's pitching like it's a World Series, but
Derek,
is trying to make it. He is trying to make a
The
roster.
way it's looking for you, just think of it this way: you're going to that game against the Yankees
Saturday.
after opening day.
Yeah.
If you look at it on paper, Shane Green would be starting your game.
No.
Now you stoked you paid that big ticket price. You didn't pay a whole lot.
No, $25. I'm not going to pay that again for another Tiger game. I'm going to be paying at least $40 the rest of the season, and against the Yankees.
Against the Bronx Bombers.
But it's also a very early game of the season where guys are not going to be pitching or hitting to their full potential. A lot of rusty. I can see this being a high scoring game. I can see this being like an 8-5 Tigers victory, something like that, 8-6. It'll be a close game. I think it'll be high scoring. You can mark that down on paper if you want. Whatever. It's still a week or so away. But, I even if he pitches, he probably, no matter how many runs he gives up, he probably won't pitch more than 4 or 5 innings. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah. You're extremely the chain is extremely tight for the first start or two for starting pitchers. You got to be careful with that, with the cold and maybe not quite being there yet. But when you're leaving spring training, maybe I'm a little harsh, maybe I'm a little tough, but you need to be ready. You should have everything working, or at least 3 of your 4 pitches moving effectively, command effectively, velocity should be there. It's just my perspective on the matter.
Tigers got the Orioles tonight, 6 p.m. at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida. The lineup that they have right now, they're still, obviously they're putting guys in there that are still trying to make this team or at least try to get some sort of a roster spot. Anthony Gose, Iglesias playing, Justin Upton, Tyler Collins, James McCann, and Andrew Romine. Those are your main guys. And then, of course, Mike Aviles, Jordani Valdspin, and Nate Shearholtz are playing. So they're not playing guys like JD, not playing Miggy. So, I mean, how many games they got left, before the season starts? They got 2 more games to play, and then they head back.
They don't have many.
I want to say it's only got to be 2 because Sunday baseball starts, this week. So
they're going to start
they gotta play
getting
2,
ready for
heading back.
They might play actually one exhibition somewhere or practice in
We
Miami.
know they don't got far to go.
No,
Miami.
No, they don't at all. That's a little convenient for the Tigers.
It is.
This
Yeah,
year.
they'd be starting in Florida.
That's awful convenient.
They could just take the bus there, So obviously, I think we'll have a lot more to talk about Tigers baseball wise after as far as next week because Tuesday is that big opener against Miami, and then our show's Wednesday. So we'll have a lot to talk about, whether it be Red Wings, that we'll know a lot more about their playoff hopes. We'll know about the Tigers, how they fared in their opener, and WrestleMania. Roll WrestleMania, which is also this Sunday, and I guess we can go ahead and float right into that talk.
Good segue.
Good segue there for WrestleMania time. Well, this is something
your
we've been.
Slappiness is killing me.
This
right
is
now.
something that we've been waiting for. I was actually trying to impersonate Slick. Remember Slick?
Slick.
Who's gonna be inducting
Are you kidding
the
me?
boss man? Remember Slick?
No.
The black guy that used to wear all the bling bling.
Oh, got it. Okay.
He was at WrestleMania in Detroit in that backstage
gracious.
dance segment.
Wow.
Yes, Slick boy.
That was over my head.
So obviously, we got a pretty, I don't want to say stacked card, but we got, looks like 10 matches on the main card. It's looking like it's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal has been moved to the main card instead of the pre-show, which I like. It deserves to open the show. I got a guy that's not been added to this match yet. I got Braun Strowman. I feel like that they obviously held him back from facing the Dead Man this year. I think next year we'll see I think we'll see a lot more of Braun Strowman next year as far as being in the, not want to say world title picture, but he'll be in some sort of a title picture, or maybe even in a singles run. But I'm going to go with Braun Strowman.
I think you're going to – I couldn't tell you who's going to win this because I don't know who's all in it. There's
Well, they
always-
got obviously the two obvious giants are Kane and the Big Show, which Justin wants one of them two to win. I wouldn't mind Big Show winning again.
Reasonably
Kane,
so. I get it.
Kane would be great to see him win because this could be his last WrestleMania. And of course, you got all the members of the what are they called? Social Outcasts: Adam Rose, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Bo Dallas.
I'm gonna pick someone who's
Tyler Breeze.
I'm gonna pick someone who's like a surprise entrant. Maybe someone debuting for NXT. No, I'm not gonna say Finn Balor.
No, he would not be in that
He's
match.
not coming. But someone who's not is not a big giant. I know you're picking one of the bigger guys to win. One of the guys that are
Braun Strowman, yeah.
6'10" to 7
Yeah.
foot tall. I'm gonna think someone's gonna win at this little bit height challenge.
Like Tyler Breeze or somebody.
No,
He's still in the doghouse.
He's
Remember?
still kind of in Vince's. You will not win any matches.
Yeah, you're gonna eat a lot of shit and you're gonna like it.
Yeah, that's Vince McMahon's philosophy right there.
Yeah.
Someone under the radar that you don't expect to win. Maybe like a
You-
Zack
are you-
Ryder, some stupid like
Oh,
that.
he's going to be in another type of match we'll get to in a minute. But so you don't have a clear cut winner.
I don't.
You don't want to. You don't want to agree with me and just go with Braun Strowman.
No,
I'm
somehow or another, I don't think he's gonna win. But you could very well be.
That's
correct
a
on
match
that
that
one.
really any
could
kind of
care
any
less.
battle royal or something like that magnitude is really hard to pick. But I'll go with Braun Strowman, and that'll be the first match on that opens the show, in my opinion. All right, and then you got, of course, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Fourth time's the charm. I
Could
hope in
steal
this.
the show.
This could steal the show in a wrestling capacity. Do you have AJ Styles go over on Jericho, win the match clean, or do you have Chris Jericho kind of go off into the sunset
Chris
and beat
Jericho
him?
puts AJ Styles over big time in this match. Styles has his big highlight
WrestleMania moment.
WrestleMania moment that he so deserves.
Yep.
His wrestling career now can finally just
Take off.
and he's been kind of at a standstill with TNA. Hasn't hit that big.
Well, they haven't
horizon
given him
that-
nothing other than
No.
Jericho. He's been
So
going
this
on
is-
with Jericho since he debuted. So
This is gonna be huge for Styles. I know he's got to be just stoked, looking forward to this moment on Sunday.
who wins?
Styles
I gotta go Styles too. I mean, if Jericho has any say in this matter, I don't think that he would
needs to
take
end
himself to
with
win.
the Styles clash.
Clash, yes.
I know
Yeah.
WWE's not real fond of that move.
But Chris Jericho is the only guy I think with enough power and say that he could say, "I want Styles to hit me with that." You
and
know,
I think
'cause
Jericho
that move
will
has
do
been
it,
banned.
and Jericho will do a great job.
That
of
flying
putting him over.
forearm or the phenomenal forearm, I think, has been his new finishing move.
The calf killer.
Yeah, or the calf killer too. But I thought that they should have made this a 2 out of 3 falls match to add a little something
taking
to
the words
it.
out of my mouth there.
No, but I agree with you. I think that a 2 out of 3 falls match would have been great for this match. I don't like at WrestleMania. I feel like to make the main card, every match has to have a stipulation. I mean, yeah, you can get away with the world title match. You know, you can get away with that being just a one-on-one match, okay. But if you look at it, pretty much every match on this card has some sort of a special stipulation or something, other than this match. You know, if a title's not on the line, you might as well just make this
I
some
think
sort
that
of.
what WWE Creative is looking at for this is they're saying, okay, Styles versus Jericho, gonna probably be the best match quality
technical wrestling
match of the night.
Absolutely.
You just gleeked all over yourself.
Did I really?
Oh.
Oh. Anyways. Out of sight, out of mind. They didn't see it on there. Sorry, YouTube. Next match, United States Championship match, Ryback versus Kalisto. Why this is happening, I have no idea. This is the most poorly organized match. It shouldn't even
Why
be on
is
the
this
card.
on
These two
Wrestling?
guys should
Oh,
honestly be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, in my opinion. They
Yes.
should not be on the main card. The U.S. title
will be
match.
2 minutes long.
I mean, Ryback, they don't know what the hell they're doing with. Kalisto, why he's not in a tag team still with Sin Cara, beyond me, but I'm going to make this easy and go Ryback. I mean, I think having a guy that's Mexican as the U.S. champion, I've said this before, is ludicrous. So I'm going to go with Ryback winning this one in
You
pretty.
racist man.
I'm going to go squash match. I think
Squash
that I'm going to
match.
go squash match, and I feel like this is going to be like that match with Daniel Bryan and Sheamus a few years ago, where Sheamus brogue kicked him in the head and won it in like 3 seconds. Not that quickly, but I feel like it's going to be probably a 3 to 5 minute match tops, and Ryback wins.
This is the match where I get up and raid Derek's cupboards for the Chex Mix.
Yes, or piss break, or shit break, depending on how ballsy you're feeling in my house. But yes, that will be
No, Derek.
That will be
No.
that will be one of those. Who won?
Think
that's
it's
my
over?
answer.
All right, good.
Yeah, good.
Next.
So who are you going with? Just out of curiosity.
Ryback.
Okay. And then you got one of two Divas matches in this lineup, which another
goody.
match is going to be a grab the checks mix or piss match. You got a little Divas, I guess it's an 8 Diva tag team match. You got Natalya, Paige, Alicia Fox, and Brie Bella versus Lana, Tamina, Snuka, and a partner to be I thought wait a
Eva
minute.
Marie.
Eva Marie is actually Eva Marie has actually been their partner of choice. So, and that reaction that she got on Raw, I heard that Creative and all the guys backstage were actually pissed off that she got booed out of the arena because they were really thinking that she's been kind of working on her wrestling skills and that fans would take notice and be appreciative of that. But no. Other than her looks and her voluptuous breasts, Eva Marie is nothing. She is probably the hottest diva on the roster next to Lana or a Paige.
Goodness.
I'm going to go with the heel team. Unless they
No,
really...
Brie Bella's last WrestleMania. They're not losing, man.
No, I got to go because, I got to go with the heel of Lana, Tamina, Naomi,
Okay.
and
I see it, but
yeah.
I'm not going to go against the baby faces on this one because Brie Bella's probably going to hang it up after this. So I'm thinking that they're going to have her go out the right way, especially because of the whole Dana Bryan situation. So
We'll see.
the
But
total
something
diva
tells me-
side of the whole
Yeah.
team is going to win this. And as far as Eva Marie goes, I know that they're bummed.
Yeah.
But again, you can't force someone down the
No,
WWE fans'
it's got to
throat.
be organic. In
It
this
has
day
to
and
be-
age, you're going to have it totally just blow up in your face.
And as much as I would speculate, I don't know, I don't have the numbers in front of me, that the majority of the WWE audience are males, and most men would find Eva Marie
so why
to be
they're
attractive.
so why they're booing her is
They're
beyond
booing
me
her because
of her skills.
they remember what she's done in the past.
Yes,
And it's
she's botched lines many times before.
She's-
She is a regular on Total Divas, or was, and I think a lot of people know her from that. So,
I guess they just don't like the whole gimmick. They don't like what she's about.
yeah. So that's
why is
their,
Paige getting over? Because she's good in the ring.
Well, Paige, in my opinion, should have been part of the triple threat match for the Divas title, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yep.
So, all right, so you're going to go with the face team. I'm going to go with the heels. All right. Next one is a match that I have no idea why it's taking place either. Handicap match for the WWE Tag Team titles, New Day versus the League of Nations. This is a handicap match because it's a 4-on-3.
I'm actually excited for this.
Because The Rock.
Nope.
Because the New Day will retain.
Because the New Day is entertaining.
Will be over.
I like to be entertained.
Yeah.
I was very, very close, and I'm sorry to anyone listening to this that
You were going to buy a T-shirt.
I was gonna
Bootios,
buy the Bootios T-shirt
with your free box of Bootios, mind you.
No. I went on WWEshop.com and looked at this.
What?
You don't actually get cereal in your Bootios.
What the hell's all that?
You get the box, and the shirt's in the box, and it's an empty box.
Oh my
with
god!
With your shirt in it.
Of course, they
It
couldn't
says-
go the
it
extra
says
mile.
No,
and,
it says no actual cereal in box, just shirt.
Wow, that's poor marketing. That's
So-
false advertisement. I'd say I'd go on strike for that one. Not really, but this match is going to be interesting because I feel like it is a handicap match for a reason. I feel like because I've been hearing a lot of rumors that The Rock is going to get in this match and interfere and help the New Day win. Which is which doesn't make sense to a lot of people. I know Justin's skeptical.
New Day is now the babyface.
They've been really pushing the New Day, and they're using the League of Nations to get that face reaction, which they don't need. They're already over. They're the most over thing in wrestling right now. But I feel like this better not be The Rock's only moment at WrestleMania. We're going to see him in the main event, World Heavyweight Title match.
No, I mentioned this on Monday when you and I were sitting on the couch watching Raw.
Yes.
And do you know what that was? Do you remember what that was? Can you recall that? And Justin liked it. And Justin's a hard guy to
was this
get
involving
to
the
agree
was
with.
this involving The Rock?
This involves The Rock. This would have to involve someone else who has not been on WWE television in a while.
Shawn Michaels.
No.
Stone Cold.
No.
Is this a big Attitude Era name?
Mr. You Can't See Me himself, John Cena.
Yes.
You have one more time if both of them are
Oh
game
yes.
for it.
1-1.
1-1.
The rubber match.
One final time.
Well, remember
Rock
the
versus
first time
Cena?
it was supposed to be once in a lifetime, then it was second time in a lifetime, and now this could be third time's a charm in a lifetime.
No,
So
why not have them, okay, even if you don't have a match, have them have a stare down, look at each other, shake hands, whatever.
if you're not setting up Undertaker versus John Cena,
If you're
for
not
next
setting
year.
up anything. I'm not a writer.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's always a surprise at WrestleMania. That could be one of them.
I just want to be entertained by wrestling again.
Yeah.
It's painful right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Red Wings.
Yeah,
I just want to be entertained.
absolutely. So what do you got for this match, though? What do you have
New
the
Day.
outcome? I mean,
They're going to have an awesome entrance.
They are. Well, I was hearing they were supposed to be riding in on like freaking plastic unicorns, but I guess that was too dangerous or something because they'd be floating above the ground. So they're not going to go with that entrance.
Oh,
but
shucks.
if the New Day lose this, it would be shockingly upsetting and very clueless as to why.
Barrett's final WrestleMania.
Yeah, why they would, and possibly Alberto Del Rio. I mean, these are guys that are probably, two of them, half the team is going to leave after WrestleMania, or very shortly, so why they're in the match, and why it's a handicap match for the tag team titles is beyond me. This should have been New Day versus the Dudleys versus the Usos, hands down. Why they're continuing to shove the League of Nations down our throat is,
because WWE writers say, oh, well, look at the team that we formatted here.
Oh, it's genius because they're all from different parts of the world.
And they're all former champions.
Yeah, so what?
Of some sort of fashion.
Yeah. I'm not interested.
I'm
That's
not
another
either.
one too I will not be caring about.
I just want to see
this next one could be
this
next one there's no clear-cut winner. I've got 3 guys that could walk out of this with the title. Ladder match for the Intercontinental title. You got your champion Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Stardust, Sami Zayn, Sin Cara, and The Miz. I'm going to go totally off cuff here and say that Zack Ryder walks out Intercontinental Champion only because...
Derek, you're booty right now.
Only because... You wouldn't hate on it, would you?
Yes.
You'd hate on it because Kevin Owens is your guy. And
I like Kevin Owens because he's me if I was a wrestler.
Your typical result would be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn walks out of WrestleMania with that title. Then starts his rise to the top of WWE.
Do you think he starts a feud with Kevin Owens?
Of course.
Obviously, you got to have
Sami Zayn wins that match by defeating Kevin Owens.
The only reason why I feel like Zack Ryder has a legit shot at winning, and has nothing to do with he took Neville's spot, because God knows Neville would not have won that title. Zack Ryder was the only guy on Raw out of that match that had a singles match against Chris Jericho.
Okay.
So you
got
you know what I'm saying? They got him the victory. He won it in a rollover, a roll up, but he was the only guy out of those guys that had an actual singles match with somebody.
Derek's over here just...
No, I mean, I'm just saying. Was I the only one that noticed that? I don't know, but I feel like Zack Ryder, the Ryder Revolution, is upon us, and I have it coming down to those 3. Obviously, Zack Ryder, Sami Zayn, or Kevin Owens will walk out with the title. I just want to be bold, and I'm going to go with Zack Ryder. You're going with Kevin Owens? You said Sami Zayn?
Zayn.
But you'll hate it for Kevin Owens, too, because that's your boy.
I like Kevin Owens, yeah.
But you won't hate on Sami Zayn winning.
No, I do like Sami Zayn a lot, and what he brings is I'm looking for the new age of wrestling to be stamped in and make their way, cement their legacy, kind of start building towards what us now mid-20s.
Yes.
All of our heroes.
Correct.
Well, kind of heroes. Some of us believe they're heroes. What we used to feel. Mm-hmm. That's gone. We're 27. We're hard to please now.
Yeah, what do you
it's
mean?
extremely...
It's all about wrestling. The entertainment factor is still there. The characters obviously no longer. They were through the roof in the mid 90s, early 2000s. Now it's all about the wrestling and the entertainment factor. And unfortunately, the entertainment factor is still very, very, very PG.
New Day is about what you're going to get, and you're actually going to laugh.
But I am a New Day fan now. I was so
let's get our bootios.
No, I'm not doing it. Stop it. I own 2 wrestling shirts to my name, and I continue to feel that way. I'm not getting another wrestling shirt. Sorry. All right, so this next match, I feel like this is probably the only match on the card with a clear-cut winner. There's only one winner coming out of this match. Triple threat match for the Divas title, soon-to-be WWE Women's title again. Yes. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Sasha Banks, hands down.
Well, with Snoop D-O-double-G being inducted into the Hall of Fame, obviously you know Sasha Banks is not walking out of their champion, or is she?
What? Oh, that is her. Isn't that her cousin?
That's her uncle.
Her uncle, is it? I thought they were cousins.
Cousins, uncles.
Yeah.
Not positive. Don't quote me on that. But Sasha Banks walks out of their champion. Snoop Dogg's there. The moment's all set.
Not a lot of people know about that.
The moment's all set up. Unless you've been living under a rock.
Do you think that that's why Snoop Dogg took over Regis' spot in the Hall of Fame, because of the Sasha Banks deal?
Yes.
Not a lot of people know about that.
Sasha Banks is going to win that championship.
Well, yeah,
there's a big moment.
There's no doubt about it. That's the easiest match out.
That's your ESPN picture. You know, ESPN's looking for those WWE highlights. Oh, Snoop Dogg right there.
Sasha. Good deal. I agree with you on that one. Now, this next match, we're getting down to the final three here, the final three big matches that probably everybody cares about, but this is the one that I feel like everybody is wanting to see and the one that most people care about. No holds barred street fight. Dean Ambrose versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar. This is a match where a lot of people think that there are some people think that this should have gone on last.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that this is the match where it's going to pretty much send Dean Ambrose to whole new heights. I don't think he's going to win. I think Brock Lesnar is going to beat the living shit out of him, and I feel like it's going to be the Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. Somewhat similar. When Stone Cold's bleeding that sharpshooter and the blood's pouring down his face, I feel like we're going to see Dean Ambrose get thrown around that ring, suplexed. He's going to get taken to Suplex City in Texas. I feel like Brock Lesnar will win this. It'll be a hell of a match, but I think Brock Lesnar will win.
Now, you got one thing right. Brock's going to destroy him. You got to have blood in this match.
Yes.
Both these guys are absolutely...
Well, hell, you've already given him the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. You've given him a damn chainsaw.
I know WWE is really PG rated,
but they're going a little bit
to each
extreme.
their own.
They're going a little,
They're getting a little bit
Yep.
more not PG friendly.
It's WrestleMania season. You got to just bend the rules a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Dean Ambrose is going to win this.
Okay, tell me
Brock is a good ring general. He knows when to put a guy over. Dean Ambrose is getting to that level now. He's not shoved down our throats like Roman Reigns is.
That's why he's loved.
He's an organic feel.
Talent, yep.
You can like him for what he does.
Oh yeah.
He's just there right now.
He is. But
kinda
he is
there.
that they love that psychomaniac mentality of him. And
He beats Brock Lesnar, as you said. He rises. His stock is through the roof.
does he beat him dirty or cleanly? And by dirty, I mean, like, is it like a shitty cover? Is it like something really dumb?
No.
Or does he actually beat the hell out of him? Or does he get his ass beat and just somehow miraculously
It might be
wins?
something fluky, like a tight pull or something.
Dirty Deeds is going to win the match for him.
Something fluky that you're going to go, oh, okay.
They better tread carefully with this match because
Or it is no disqualification. You have someone help him. You have someone help Dean Ambrose.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mick Foley.
He was the one that gave him the Barbie baseball bat, man. Like, I don't see why not. You know, I mean, the legends are going to be there, and it would be something funny to see. You know, in all these certain matches,
Rock.
a legend, huh?
The Rock. Steve Austin.
That's where all these
There's a lot
surprise, these shock values.
Something needs to happen with
Yes.
these guys. And this match, I don't expect to be as fair as you think. Something's going to happen. Brock's going to lose this match somehow.
Well, they're both kind of face. Brock is kind of a tweener, kind of like The Undertaker. He's kind of face heel because, of course, Dean Ambrose is like over the top face right now with the fans, and you could kind of say he is the monster baby face, and Brock is just the monster, the beast. Neither one of them are going to get booed, I don't think, whether who wins it. But I don't know, man. I just feel like, you know, beating Dean is not going to be punishment to Dean. It's not going to hurt his career. But I think it will gain him more and more cheers, more respect from the fans because he'll have his
how
moment.
over he would be
If he
but
beat the
he
Beast.
gotta beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Brock's legacy is already cemented.
That's
as
it. And
defeating the streak at WrestleMania. His legacy
Yes.
is big. Now you gotta give Dean Ambrose that brass ring that Vince McMahon's always talking about. Let him beat Brock and let him go on for the next 6 months. Let's see what he can do.
Maybe he could main event WrestleMania
Put him
next
against
year
Roman Reigns.
for the title.
Turn him heel. Whatever you have to do.
Turn Dean heel? It would have made more sense to turn Dean heel 2 or 3 months ago when him and Roman were in that whole fight for the title, that whole brotherhood thing. They teased it many times.
But now they're starting to realize, turning him heel would have been just
But it would go
asinine because of the fans right now.
Roman Reigns is more of a heel character than Dean. Dean is just kind of out for himself. He is just a psychopath. He's kind of like along the same lines as a Finn Balor, if you will, as far as psychotic. But Finn
Balor's not psychotic.
He's just bipolar. I get it. He's a demon. I get that whole thing. But
you'll find out eventually.
Yeah, I will. I know. But this match, honestly, I'll pick Brock, but it could go either way. I like your outcome. I like what I think. But like I said,
just
if
for
Dean wins or loses,
don't let this just be squashed. Don't let Brock go in there and squash.
10-minute match. No, this has to be a solid 20-minute match, and it also could probably steal the show. I feel like it will. just because of the weapons involved, the fact that it is no holds barred, falls count anywhere, street fight, they could go all over the arena, which I think they probably will. So from a entertaining standpoint, I feel like this match will steal the show. From a wrestling standpoint, technically wrestling standpoint, I think AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho will steal the show. So that's my thing.
Couldn't agree more.
Second match, I was kind of contemplating on whether I should go with Hell in a Cell or the title match. I'm going to go with the WWE World Heavyweight title match. And this is the match that I do not feel like should close the show for the first time in years. I know that every WrestleMania it is usually tradition. You have the title match close the show. And that's why, because I feel like they're going to go Hell in a Cell, then they're going to go title match. And just like WrestleMania 25, when Triple H and Randy Orton had to follow that classic by Shawn Michaels Undertaker, it got zero reaction. The fans were not involved at all. So I'm going to go with this. WWE World Heavyweight title match, Roman Reigns versus Triple H. I mean, unless Vince McMahon gets the balls to change this again and make poor Roman Reigns suffer, Roman Reigns is walking out with the World Heavyweight Championship.
I don't see how Roman Reigns doesn't walk out champion.
The Rock will probably be in his corner. Shawn Michaels will probably be in Triple H's corner with Stephanie. I mean, I just don't see.
I don't see any possible outcome.
We're already seeing. I mean, people are already making like memes of like what the outcome of this match will be. That WrestleMania. I mean, you know, we all thought the same thing last year, and we all walked out of WrestleMania not necessarily happy, but we were shocked. Last year's WrestleMania had the shock value of like a WrestleMania 17 when Austin and McMahon.
I want to know is you're the dirt sheet guy. I'm not that big. You're still huge into wrestling, and I respect that. It's great.
We both are.
I just don't. I'm not in the dirt sheets like you are.
I like the dirt sheets just for the fact that I like finding out what happened.
I'm going to pose a question to you. How far along? Because I want to ruin this match because this match for me just
you want to scrap it.
I just want to scrap it. So what I'm going to do is no one's going to disagree with me. How far along is Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, John Cena with their recoveries?
We're about a month and a half.
This match needs to be changed. Somebody needs to be inserted.
It should have been made a triple threat match. It really should have been. It should have been Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns versus Triple H. I know that you were, or even a fatal four-way for that matter. But I don't know, man. Like, we got about a month away. Randy Orton, I heard end of April, so that's about a month away. John Cena, mid-April. And then you got Seth Rollins. I think he's still about a month or two away. So you're going to have these guys back for SummerSlam. That's the good thing.
And it looks like SummerSlam is going to be what we want.
SummerSlam will be what we want.
Yeah,
we're probably going to see the Brock versus Bray Wyatt, you know, if they don't insert. Because I've been hearing a lot of big plans for Bray. Bray Wyatt is not on the WrestleMania card this year. And the reason why is because he has a nagging back injury. And you know, fans that don't know about that, like people that stay away from the dirt sheets like you or Chris, I mean, if you're a true wrestling fan, you would kind of know the backstory. But yes, Bray Wyatt is not at WrestleMania. Well, he probably will be there, but he's not wrestling there because of a nagging back injury. But he has major plans ahead of him, just like Dean Ambrose. But yeah, when you got the three biggest names in wrestling, John Cena, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins coming back in about a month or so, that's going to just shake up the entire card. It's going to delay pushes for certain guys like possibly an AJ Styles, you know, or even,
you put Styles against some of these guys coming back.
Because you got to remember the Raw after WrestleMania. Next Monday night, we're going to be seeing the debut of possibly the Bulletproof Club or Samoa Joe. I know for sure he will be there, but, you know, we're going to definitely see Finn Balor, I believe, Monday night on Raw. If it's either with the Bulletproof Club or if it's going to be Finn Balor himself. That's basically what they are. They're bulletproof now, so.
All right.
But yes, can we both agree Roman Reigns wins the title?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Now to probably the biggest match that has probably the most at stake for both competitors.
Your new
and the
main
match,
event.
Then this is probably not going to be the main event, but this is going to be very, very inviting. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be just a lot of eyeballs are going to be on this match. Hell in a Cell match. Shane McMahon, after 8 years of being away, versus the dead man himself, The Undertaker. If Shane wins, he controls WWE. If Undertaker loses, he wrestles in his last WrestleMania. Not retirement, but last WrestleMania. So, this is a match that we've gone back and forth with for weeks. Who do you got? I'm going to let you lead this one off.
Oh,
what happens and who wins?
gosh, this is one match that actually has me interested in the night.
I think this is a match that we're not going to be comfortable. We're going to be sitting in our chairs, hunched over the entire 25, 30 minutes of whatever this match is. It's going to be the longest match of the night, longer than the title match in my opinion, because it's Hell in a Cell. You can do so much with this.
When you're sitting there and then it gets to be 10:45 and Roman Reigns and Triple H are still on,
yes.
What are you going to do then?
Well, I do know that. No, they've already said that WrestleMania is going to go over about 5 minutes this year. When last year it ended 10 minutes early, but this year it's supposed to go to like 11:05, 11:10.
You're on top of it.
Well, I didn't see this on the dirt sheets. I saw this on Facebook. Somebody posted about it, so that should probably be a little bit entertaining. But what do you got?
Man, I'm going to go with Shane because somehow or another it's a trick. That's the.
So you're going to go with well, you say a trick. Am I thinking about trick as this is going to be lazy?
Back to the old lazy attitude
yeah.
era type.
It's all a ploy.
McMahon screw over the
Undertaker. Stephanie brought back Shane, but then you got to think about it. If they go with that, Taker doesn't stick around very long. Taker is a guy that, as we say, wrestles once a year. He's in the best shape of his career. We can, I guess, argue that at 51 years old, tremendous shape, but. If you have the McMahons screw Taker, that would mean the Taker would have to hang around for a while and have this feud with the McMahon family like we saw back in the Ministry days in '99. That's where that kind of comes in.
That's been over and done with. That's why I don't want this to happen.
It's been done before many times. How many times throughout the late '90s, early 2000s have we seen Shane and Vince been at it, and then they always wind up reuniting and basically saying, "Ha, gotcha." You remember the Higher Power storyline? When when Vince was against Undertaker, they were going back and forth. Undertaker wanted to control the company then, and Vince was like at it with him, and he kept on talking about the higher power thing, and it turned out to be Vince himself. I hope that doesn't happen. I have Shane winning also, but I have him winning because of interference. I feel like it won't be a clean victory. Justin's prediction of John Cena coming out and turning heel and costing the Undertaker the victory, it sounds great and all to set up a WrestleMania match for next year, but then you got to figure if Undertaker loses, how is he going to fight at WrestleMania? Oh, because Shane's in control of WWE and he'll give him the match. That's the only way you could look at that. But I don't know. That
is your complete answer there.
What's one guy though that really makes the most sense of interfering in this match? If you look at the history between both guys, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you could either have Stone Cold or Mankind because Mankind, Mick Foley, has had history with The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, which everybody can say The Undertaker, that's his match, his yard, as he says, but he's also had the most losses in Hell in a Cell. So, it's definitely not his best match that he ever has, but I don't know, man. Just I can accept because the streak is already dead and over with. Going 22-2. Yeah, going 22-2 as opposed to 23-1. It's not a big difference because the excitement, the shock value of the streak is already over with.
What's another loss?
Exactly. What's two losses as opposed to just the one? I mean, his legacy is not going to get tarnished if he loses. Some people will say if this is his last. Yeah, some will say if this is his last WrestleMania or his last match and he loses to Shane McMahon, wow, you haven't gone against Shane. Not a lot of really big props there, whatever. But I obviously am still hoping for that Undertaker-John Cena match for next year, WrestleMania 33. So.
Or you have that at SummerSlam.
Or SummerSlam. Taker's in good shape. He's been training like a hog, and just so is Shane. I didn't want to go a little, homophobic there, but Shane was rocking that six-pack. I still say he lifted that.
I'm going to call you out right now about this.
He lifted up that shirt on purpose.
I'm calling you out right now.
Why?
I'm sitting there watching Raw. 3 guys. No women.
Shut up.
And Shane McMahon's shirt comes up, and Derek's got to go back and rewind this.
Well, because I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, man, this guy's shredded like his old man. Because back when Shane was 15 years ago, when Shane was just a kid in this company, he was never really solid. He was always just kind of average built. He wasn't muscular like his dad was, but that training that he's been doing, that martial arts, MMA, whatever he's been doing.
Did you see if he had any tan lines, Derek?
No, but his that spray tan was definitely working for him, wasn't it, Monday? Oh, God.
My goodness gracious, Derek.
Well, overall, I think WrestleMania will be a success. I feel like a lot of people are panning it. They're criticizing it. WrestleMania last year was okay if they would have never have changed up that main event and had
It
Seth
better be
Rollins
worth
got
it.
to
We're going to be up awful late watching.
that and Walking Dead. But before we get into Walking Dead, just to finish up WrestleMania, I think it'll be a solid show. I think it's hard to give it a letter grade before you even watch it, but I think it's going to be all right. I know guys like probably Justin will probably leave. They're very disappointed because, they didn't use The Rock or Stone Cold the way that he wanted them to use, or he didn't get his free beer out of my fridge if John Cena doesn't get his heel turn and turns on Taker. I know that is literally like a 1 in a million chance of happening. That's just me, but I think it'll be all right. It'll be a decent show.
Hopefully.
Before we talk about Walking Dead to close out the show, I wanted to talk about the Detroit Pistons. I guess I kind of segued into wrestling before touching on the last Detroit sports team that is actually in the playoffs, solidly in the playoffs. I should talk about here, and a team that I feel like in the perfect story will make the playoffs as the Red Wings miss the playoffs. But the Pistons are doing pretty damn good. Their record is the highest it's been in months.
Seed, right?
They actually, they jumped up to 7th seed.
Big win.
They got a 3-game lead over the Bulls. They're actually the second best team out of 5 in the Central, but they're still 12.5 games behind the Cavaliers. So that's unfair. But 40-35 is a respectable record. In the NBA, that will get you into the postseason. Teams usually, it's easier. I think the NBA is probably the easiest sport to make the playoffs, or the easier one because you can be under 500 and make the playoffs as an 8th seed. We might see that this year. Obviously you got the Bulls, they're at 500 exactly. They're 37-37. They're barely hanging on to that 8th spot. So we'll see. But I think the Pistons will make the playoffs. I just want to touch on that. Obviously,
Pistons will make the playoffs. Wings are still extremely
But
debatable.
would that be so? I mean, we're not big basketball fans. We're the first ones. We admit it every single time we talk about the Pistons. That's why we're keeping this brief. But we've talked about this before. But wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be such a downing point if the Pistons make it and the Red Wings don't? Having playoff basketball instead of playoff hockey in Detroit.
Well, I'm very happy for the Detroit
Oh,
Pistons.
I am too, no doubt.
They can make a playoff run
after a 4-year drought.
But yeah, it is going to be, the streak will come to an end if the Wings don't make the playoffs. It'd be extremely heartbreaking. I think a lot of people will just go, oh, the Pistons are in. I wouldn't say they're going to say, oh, I could care less.
Right.
But it definitely is a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, it would be.
The Wings not making the playoffs, and also the Pistons making the playoffs. So you got to be the captain optimistic here and pull for both teams. Pulling for both teams. Can they do it?
Yes.
Yes, they can do it.
Will one make it and one won't? Yes.
Likely.
I think that the Pistons, it's really funny. I mean,
are you coming to the dark side?
No, I'm not coming to the dark side, but I feel like the chances of it happening are becoming increasingly more likely as every Red Wing game passes and loss gets recorded. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there, YouTube. All right, so that'll end our sports talk for the night. We're going to close things out here with another big event happening Sunday, which, yes, Danny, he mentioned that we will be up very late Sunday. After WrestleMania, we will be watching The Walking Dead Season 6 finale, the debut of Negan, the very much anticipated debut of Negan. We're not going to give away any spoilers, but as far as what we think is going to happen in this finale, who are the characters,
who gonna die,
who will be the character or characters that will die in the finale? What are you thinking?
I told you everybody on the promo that I was going to give somebody a name that should be killed off. So here it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Carol. Carol has really just gotten pushed to the max. Her character was very under the radar. It wasn't a real popular character to start the show. And she has extremely blossomed into one of the top 5 characters on the show.
She has.
Well beloved.
Like a mother figure.
Whether if it was the mother figure with
baking cookies
or look at the flowers, depending on
That's what I miss. I miss that Carol, no doubt.
Yeah. And that Carol was great.
Yes.
She's just all over the place.
Her character
bipolar character.
Her character is just totally reinvented herself, as you can kind of say. It happens in wrestling. I think her character has evolved big time.
But it's time, though. She's reached her peak. There's nothing more that you can do with Carol's character, that can really be shed on any more light to this saga. She needs to be killed off. It needs to be somewhat meaningful. You can't just go and she's gone.
With that cross bracelet in her hand as she gets killed, and and zoom into that, make it dramatic.
Daryl is still up in the air. I know everybody's going, oh,
and it's
Daryl,
really 50-50 with Daryl because he was never a comic book character. You can do anything you want with Daryl. Nobody knows his fate.
You don't. You just don't know what to believe. I know you and I are. Rosita got shot. Daryl got shot. Who got shot?
We're thinking that it could be either Rosita or it could be Daryl. The end of that last episode was very, very just confusing because the way he shot Daryl, I don't see that much blood splattering all over the damn camera. Plus, of course, Dwight saying you'll be all right. Obviously, you're not going to end the show with a death like that, especially if it's Daryl or Rosita. I don't care who they are. But, it could have hit, you could have shot him in the arm, could have shot Rosita, I don't know. But that's a lot of blood. That might have just been for added effect, drama, whatever you want to call it. But to zip just to the finale, I have two characters that I think will die, and my two characters are Daryl and Michonne. And the reason, obviously, Daryl is because it's been rumored for months. Norman Reedus has been constantly trolling the fans of Walking Dead. He is starting a new AMC motorcycle show very soon, which, whatever. That's not going to take too much time out of it. But, you've been on the show
filming Boondock Saints 2.
Yes, you've been on The Walking Dead for about 5 years now. You've been a mainstay on this show, a huge character.
Made you famous.
I mean, reinvented, I guess you could say, because he was famous beforehand.
I knew that he was in Blade 2.
Yeah.
But who else knew that he was in Blade 2? Be honest.
Norman Reedus. I did not know him before Walking Dead, I'll be honest. He was apparently a model back when he was in his 20s, but he's a 47-year-old guy. Mm-hmm. The ladies love him. Daryl's Yum Yum Sauce, all this stuff. But
yeah,
those are just some of my reasons. It really, some people could think I'm saying that for the ladies. Dan, chill out.
I know.
I'm thinking too is that some people might be kind of breathing a sigh of relief because they're thinking, oh well, if they shot Daryl at the end of the last episode, that means that his fate is probably restored for the finale. No, not necessarily. That could be foreshadowing, and I feel like that's going to be it. And he will be the one getting his brains bashed in by Negan and Lucille,
not
not
that'd be
Glenn.
Extremely
not
painful
Glenn.
For some of the.
If
Walking
you're
Dead
going
faithful.
if you're going to lose Walking Dead viewers, you got to do it the most heelish, the most just terrible, horrifying way possible. You got to kill the most beloved character off, and you also got to make Negan the most hated. Because what better way?
To be that.
He will. Don't pussyfoot Negan in this finale, and that's another thing too. It's a 90-minute finale, which means that extra half hour better be dedicated to Negan. I do not want to be seeing Negan in the back of his head as it pans out for 5 minutes. I don't want to see that. I want to see a good 20.
And then you got to wait until October to see Walking Dead.
Yeah, I do not want to be leaving that finale being like, what? What the hell happened? Where was Negan? That was 90 minutes and there was no Negan. No, he's going to be there, but I don't want him to be the last 5 minutes.
And then here you are popping off on Twitter.
No, I'm not one of those people. I don't pop off on Twitter or Facebook. I'm not Josh Buckner. But, yeah, Negan better.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Negan better be having a solid debut on this show. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, and my reasoning for Michonne is simply because you don't fall in love in the zombie apocalypse. It's been proven time and time again on this show. Rick has had his heart broken before many times.
And countless women.
Yeah, and that'll also
Poor
teach.
Ricky.
Hey, and don't shoot me for this one, but it'll teach you not to have interracial sex on The Walking Dead.
Derek Partin, I'm appalled with your comments on this show.
Sorry.
First of all, you said no, a Mexican can't be the United States champion in wrestling, and then you just said that comment.
I gotta say it. I had to say it, man. Open mic over here. No censors here.
Derek Aaron Partin, I'm ashamed of you.
Okay, well, enough of that. But you're gonna go with just one. You're going with one main character,
I'm
and you're
gonna go with
Daryl.
one. I don't think.
And I'm going with two.
Not yet for Daryl.
I'm gonna go Daryl and Michonne, or Daryl or Michonne. One of those two will die. I know a lot of people have been saying that Glenn will be next on the chopping block. It's pretty safe to say, obviously, one of those three that are held hostage by Dwight, which is, of course, a Negan savior. I want to find out more about why his face is burned and all that. I'm sure Negan probably torched him somehow. But one of those three, whether it be Daryl, Michonne, or Rosita, will be killed off in the finale.
Rosita.
I know, man. Especially now that Maggie chopped all her hair off, which she still looks sexy, by the way. But now that she's cut her hair, it looks a bit more tomboyish.
So
I am all after. Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh. My affections have all turned towards Rosita, especially now that she's a single woman. Abraham made a huge mistake dumping her to the curb.
Yeah.
What an idiot. That damn ginger.
But he is very humorous.
Yes.
On the show. He's
Yeah, he
definitely
is.
in the zombie apocalypse, and you're able to spit out some humor. It's quite amusing to watch.
Yeah. So it's going to be Sunday is going to be an action-packed night on two different sides, and then of course we got to switch back from Sunday night football or baseball, I should say, not football, Sunday night baseball, and WrestleMania and The Walking Dead. So yeah, Sunday will be action-packed definitely, and I can't wait.
I want to close with this.
Yes.
Is that I'm not going to spoil this. Big movie came out last week. It's kind of interesting with the critics. I'm not going to ruin it for nobody.
Yeah.
So you don't got to worry about that.
B versus S.
The Cape Crusader versus Son of Krypton. Batman versus Superman.
You never really gate because you kind of let people hang on Facebook. You were like,
Because that's what I am.
yeah, I know.
I'm
You're
that guy.
you're an attention seeker, but
No,
without
I'm an
spoil
instigator.
without spoiling anything, what would you give your
'Cause I didn't
final
wanna be that
your
guy.
final rating of B versus S?
I'll give it a solid B.
A B. You're not going to give it an A minus or
No.
a B plus?
No, after I really reviewed this and gave it some thought, I didn't hate it.
Yes.
I didn't love it.
You will still you'll take Nolan.
Would
over
I see
Snyder.
it again? Would I see it again? Yes, but not for $10. Not for 15 at IMAX or
So you didn't go to the matinee?
digital. No,
I'm
I seen the
shocked.
premiere.
Oh yeah, that's right. You went to the 7 show. Yeah, you should have waited. You should just, dude. You could have saw it for.
I didn't sit next to nobody though, so that was.
So it wasn't as packed. It wasn't as
It
packed.
was packed, but it was not sold out.
Was it because I don't want to sit next to the big guy? You think, or did
Hey,
you?
no,
Or,
there was some bigger dudes in there.
oh well, yeah. It's B versus S. What do you
I
expect?
expect there's a lot of nerdy big guys like myself in there. Fluffy. brother. But going on with the movie, I would say that it's very long.
Yes.
So
2.5 hours.
keeping your attention for 2.5 hours can be extremely difficult. The movie was kind of drawn out a lot.
Did you
And there
pinpoint
could
that-
have been even more to it, but some of it I think you could have probably just scrapped and made it 2 hours and 20, or scrapped some of the things out and added a few different things in. There are definitely some nice scenes of Detroit.
So Troy, I was going to ask you, did you find the Detroit scenes?
There are a few.
Okay.
There's definitely some Easter eggs in this.
Yeah. Marvel, Civil.
No,
War,
dude, come on now. Batman
or-
vs
I'm
Superman's
sorry.
DC.
Oh, I'm sorry. DC. My bad.
Oh, goodness gracious.
My bad. I totally got wrapped up because I'm thinking about Civil War. I'm thinking about Marvel, but the Easter eggs, as far as what it pertains to, is what?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. That's
Joker.
yes. I'm sorry. I got Suicide Squad and Civil War mixed up. That's what I was thinking of.
Unless you're really like me and you're a big fan of the Joker, you may or may not catch what it is, but
Yeah.
you'll likely catch it. It's pretty
Well, I'll
obvious.
probably end up going to see it with Steve and the gang. You know, we'll probably see it next week or whatever. I mean, it's funny because my whole mindset of the movie kind of changed as far as being excited, because I was
Here's
one of
an
those guys
interesting-
like you. I was like the guys like I wanted to go see it, the premiere and whatnot, when I first saw the trailer, and then it was just like the more and more I thought about it, I was like, nah. I'm still a Nolan guy. I don't like the
Me
Schneider.
too.
I don't like the Schneider.
I'll give you guys
revision.
one thing though.
Yeah.
Affleck did not ruin this. Affleck was
A lot of people
not,
think that he's
Ben
the reason.
Affleck was not a bad Batman.
I wouldn't think he would
and
be.
here's an interesting spot. As I was reading on a Yahoo story earlier, Thursday and Friday, Batman did really well, grossed pretty well.
Yeah, it's grossed
And-
out. I
and
think
then
$600 million now.
They set a record for Saturday and Sunday and beyond. How much this movie has plummeted with ticket sales. This movie's went down the toilet as far as people attending this.
Word of
people
mouth.
were all excited about it Thursday and Friday.
That's probably what it was.
And then, as far as now goes, ticket sales have plummeted.
Yeah,
It's
not.
the
I don't think.
worst ticket sales
I don't- yeah.
since like Transformers.
I heard it was like right up there with Zoolander. Like as far as what the tickets are going now, like Zoolander is like right up there with B versus S, and Zoolander's been out for like 2 weeks. So, do you think it's word of mouth? Like the people that originally saw the first showing of it, like the premiere, the first week, I call it premiere week. So from when it came out on Thursday to the following Wednesday or Thursday, the first week it was out, those are all your first timers going to see it, all amped up like you. And then they tell their friends.
Well, the tailspin right at Saturday. I was reading the box office numbers.
So after just 2 days?
Thursday, Friday was hot. It was hopping. Everybody's stoked to go see it. Saturday, Sunday just started to plummet.
And Saturday, Sunday is major movie days. I mean, you think maybe the weather had something to do with it. You think people were more outside. I mean, it was Easter.
Maybe.
It was Easter Sunday.
It's not just Michigan. That could be a factor.
Yeah,
it is Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, I don't know what it could be. It could be word of mouth. It could be people are very... Oh, what does Rotten Tomatoes got to say? Oh, they
33%.
Yeah, they give it this.
Rotten.
And then people overanalyze what critics say. Go see a movie yourself. Don't pay much mind to what critics say about a movie.
You go into it with kind of like a low,
You have an open mind.
Yeah, open mind.
And I went in this...
No expectations.
Very little expectations.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure that Affleck didn't ruin it, Batman for me.
You got your answer.
I was a huge Christian Bale Batman supporter. Loved Christian Bale as Batman.
You were kind of a dogger of Affleck in the beginning, weren't you?
And when I heard that he was cast as Batman, I would be the first one to admit, I was like, what? No.
But this is an older, retired Bruce Wayne, if you will.
You had him aged.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell that he's aged.
The gray hair,
And some of his movements and his persona and what he is.
But that wasn't Affleck. That was scripted.
It's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He's aged. Wonder Woman,
Gal
Gadot, is fantastic. Casted a great Wonder Woman.
Jesse Eisenberg
is getting mixed reviews, but I'll be the first one. I loved Lex Luthor.
His career is going to skyrocket.
I think that he had a great job with Lex Luthor. Really liked it. This opens up a whole can of worms for so much. And I don't know if I told you this, but Justice League is full swing.
Yeah.
Flash, Aquaman. It's all happening.
Oh,
You see glimpses of it. I'm not going to say anymore.
Well, first of all, can I ask you now, should we stay after the movie for anything? Is there anything after the...
No, don't make that mistake like I did.
You were waiting for post credits.
I'm sitting there like, oh,
that's not that's
Flash?
Marvel. That's Marvel films.
I know, but people
DC
people
Stan
were
Lee
sticking
does
around,
that.
and there's a few of these guys, these nerdy guys that look like.
Oh wait, man, wait, hold on, don't leave.
Yeah. And
you dumbass, don't leave.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, is there something after? And the guy's like, I think so. And I was like, all right, I'll
comic
stick
book
around.
nerds.
And I was like, I'll take his word for it.
Were you there for 10 extra
Batman
minutes?
shirt, Batman sweatpants. I was like, yeah, he probably knows what he's talking about, but he didn't know.
And you guys were there for...
And then everybody, when the credits roll and MJR's thing came back up, everybody's like, no!
Wow.
And
That's not normally DC. That's only Marvel.
So, exactly. And that's exactly what I told you.
That's a Marvel thing, yeah.
I don't believe DC does that. So,
well.
No ending credit scene, so don't waste your time there.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. So on that note, you give it a solid B, and I'll see it soon.
And you'll probably dog the heck out of it.
I don't think so, man. I'm a Batman fan. I'm not a Superman fan. Not a big Superman fan, but I like Batman. I'll try it. I'll try anything once.
You'll probably not like how the whole fight ends. I'll say that. You're going to go. You're
telling me that they fight
I guarantee you I'm
going
to get a text message when you get out of this movie, and you're going to go, that's what ended the fight? That? That's exactly.
I don't want to base the movie off one solid scene, even though
that's
it is
what
the
a lot
end.
Of people's complaint
That's the ending.
No, that's not the ending.
Okay, the fight.
The big epic fight.
I figure when they fight, it's not going to be the whole movie. They unite and then they fight because doesn't he go to Metropolis? It isn't set mainly in Gotham. It's Metropolis's world, right?
It's both.
But isn't it mainly Metropolis? It's mainly a Superman movie. Batman, I hear, is kind of like he's kind of like the cameo / co-star.
There's a few things I'll wait until you see it that I'll kind of maybe break down a little bit further more.
All right.
But the movie as a whole, not bad.
Yeah.
Affleck didn't ruin it. Decent fight scene. Didn't like how the whole ending of the fight scene. I thought that was
too much CGI, or just the right amount.
Well,
was it too CGI-ish?
Wait until you see the villain.
Oh,
I'm not rooting for you.
No. What's his name? What's the villain's name? The freaking big ass monster. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Well, it's a creation from Zod, General Zod.
I know, but his name though, I forgot what the name is. Isn't it like it's a Superman villain, right? In the Superman world,
I wasn't
I forget
big
the
as
name.
Superman as I am in Batman, but you go see it. The listeners go see it. Most probably people have, and they probably either are refusing to comment on it, or they're unsure what to really think.
Maybe you have to see it a second time because that's how it is with some
Possibly.
movies. Because you catch more when you see it the second time.
Because
But
you're so glued, you're like, and you're trying to be that.
you're not memorizing the
and
scenes.
you're looking at it, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, Affleck. Oh, there's Affleck. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, he's obviously, okay, let's hope he doesn't ruin this scene. And you don't do that. I'm being sarcastic when I say that. But
Yeah.
just this movie tugs at you. You want to love this movie, but then it just doesn't take off. But there's hope. Justice League, Suicide Squad.
That's what I'm looking forward to. That's my next big movie.
But we'll
and
be
Civil
seeing.
War.
But we'll be seeing
Yeah.
Justice League when we're in our 30s.
Right, exactly. So, all right. Well, solid B. I'll go see it soon. We'll end it with that. So, go see the Batman vs Superman.
And you forgot our wager for the Red Wings segment.
I didn't know if you forgot that or if you wanted to wait till next week. Do you want to wait till next week when it's because we're still at the end of the season? Next week will be game number 80 against the Bruins. Do you want to wait next week or do you want to get it in real quick?
Let's wait until next week.
All right,
give
sounds
somebody,
better.
Give the hype a little push.
I don't have my WWE glass, but we're gonna. I think on that
Nerd
note,
fest here.
we're gonna call that one a podcast.
Cling cling here.
Glass and plastic don't make any noise. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that one. But on that note, we're going to call that one a podcast. Stay tuned, guys, for next week, episode number 8. Like we said before, it's going to be an action-packed weekend, especially on Sunday. We got WrestleMania, we got the Walking Dead finale, and we got Sunday Night Baseball, all opening up a very, very action-packed sports and entertainment Sunday. So.
Yes, sir.
On that note, on behalf of myself and Danny, this has been another episode of D&D Sports Chat. We will see you guys next week.